That strange creature on your floor is not trying to crawl into your ear. It only looks like the intruder because it was careless enough to step into the light. The earwig you find in your bathroom at night may be the only visible sign that something much smaller, hidden, and more useful to remove has already moved in. You see it for 1 second, a thin brown body under a damp towel, long antenna feeling the air, 6 fast legs, and at the back, those curved pincers that instantly make the animal look like it belongs in a nightmare. Most people do not pause at this point. They reach for a shoe, a tissue, a spray bottle, anything nearby. Because an earwig looks guilty before it has done anything. It looks like a pest. It looks like something that came out of the dark with a purpose. And the name does not help. Earwig. A name that makes people imagine the worst possible story, even though that story is mostly old myth. But before you remove it, you should know what it was probably doing before the light hit it. Because the earwig is not just hiding in that corner, it may have been hunting there. Earwigs are creatures of edges. They do not want the center of your kitchen floor or the middle of your bathroom. They want the places people ignore, under flower pots, beneath bark, inside leaf litter, behind stacked boxes, along garage walls, under damp towels, near drains, around basement cracks, behind outdoor furniture, and in the narrow spaces where moisture stays longer than it should. Those places matter because they are not empty, they are small ecosystems. A damp corner can hold fungus, decaying plant matter, tiny insect eggs, mites, soft larvae, aphids from nearby plants, and other small creatures that thrive where there is shelter and moisture. Most of them are too small to notice. Some are active at night. Some stay hidden until their numbers grow. And many of them are exactly the kind of creatures you would rather not have spreading around your home, garden, or stored materials. That is where the earwig works. It is not a perfect little hero. Nature almost never gives you one. Earwigs can sometimes nibble tender plants, flowers, or soft fruit, especially when their population is high or food is limited. But in many situations, they are also useful scavengers and predators. They feed on decaying organic matter. They help break down old leaves and dead plant material. They clean up bits of the hidden world that would otherwise sit there and feed mold, fungi, and other small organisms. But the more interesting part is what they can hunt. Earwigs eat aphids, small insect larvae, insect eggs, soft-bodied insects, and different kinds of mites when they find them. That matters because these are not just random tiny animals. Aphids can drain plants by feeding on sap. Mites can multiply quickly in the right conditions. Some mites can irritate people or animals, and many thrive in damp, dusty, organic spaces that humans usually do not inspect carefully. Insect eggs and larvae can turn a small, hidden problem into something visible later. The earwig moves through those spaces at night, using its antenna to read the ground like a map. It searches under objects you rarely lift. It follows moisture. It explores the cracks your hand cannot enter. It feeds on whatever the hidden environment gives it. Dead material, soft pests, eggs, mites, and small insects that are much harder for you to find than the earwig itself. That is the strange thing about seeing one. You may be looking at the cleaner, not the mess. And if you remove the cleaner without changing the conditions, the reason it came is still there. The moisture is still there. The dark shelter is still there. The eggs, mites, aphids, larvae, and organic debris may still be there. You have not fixed the tiny ecosystem. You have only removed one of the animals feeding inside it. This is why an earwig indoors should not make you ask only, how do I get rid of it? A better question is, why did this place become attractive to it? Earwigs need 3 things: moisture, shelter, and food. So if you keep finding them in the same area, they may be giving you useful information. A bathroom corner may be staying too wet. A towel may be holding moisture on the floor. A plant pot may be creating a damp hiding place. Cardboard in the garage may be absorbing humidity. Leaves or mulch outside may be pressed too tightly against the foundation. A door gap may be letting night insects inside. A basement crack may be connecting your home to a larger hidden habitat. The earwig is often not the source of the problem. It is the clue that points to it. And the part that scares people most is also widely misunderstood. Those pincers at the back are called forceps. They look dramatic, but they are not a weapon built for you. Earwigs are not venomous. They are not trying to crawl into your ears. They are not interested in people. If handled roughly, some can pinch, but for humans, they are usually far more alarming than dangerous. For the earwig, those forceps are tools. They help with defense, mating, folding wings, holding position, and dealing with small things in narrow spaces. In the world under a pot, behind a board, or inside damp leaf litter, those tools make sense. They are part of how the animal survives. And that is what earwigs are really doing most of the time, surviving in the spaces between our spaces. Outside, that can make them valuable. Under logs, in compost, under mulch, and around plants, they help recycle decaying material while also feeding on small pests. In some gardens, they are part of the quiet nighttime crew that keeps aphids and other soft-bodied insects under pressure. Inside, they are usually visitors from damp nearby habitats, or signs that a small indoor microhabitat has become comfortable for them. That does not mean you need to let them roam through your home. It means the smart response is not panic. It is investigation. Move the earwig outside if you find it indoors. Use a cup and a piece of paper. Put it somewhere sheltered and damp, away from the door. Then go back and look at the place where you found it. Dry the area. Move wet towels. Check for leaks. Reduce damp clutter. Keep cardboard off humid floors. Pull leaf litter and mulch slightly away from the foundation. Seal gaps around doors, windows, pipes, and baseboards. Clean up the small conditions that support the insects, mites, and organic debris that attracted it in the first place. That is how you solve the reason it came, not by blaming the one creature visible enough to scare you. There is one more thing about earwigs that makes them unusual, and it explains why they are not just mindless little pests. Many female earwigs show real parental care. They guard their eggs, clean them, protect them from fungus, and stay with the young after they hatch. For an insect, that is rare. But this is not just a sentimental detail. It tells you something about the animal. Earwigs are not random dirt with legs. They are organized, sensitive, moisture-dependent creatures with behaviors shaped by millions of years of surviving in hidden, risky places. Moisture made sense. The one on your floor is not there because it wants to meet you. It is there because somewhere nearby, the conditions made sense. And before you saw it, it may have been doing something useful in a place you never check. Eating aphids before they weaken your plants. Eating insect eggs before they hatch. Eating small larvae before they grow. Feeding on mites and tiny organisms that thrive in damp debris. Breaking down dead material that would otherwise feed the hidden mess. That is the real story of the earwig, not the myth, not the name, not the pincers. The real story is that one of the ugliest little animals in your home or yard may be helping control some of the smaller things you do not see at all. So the next time an earwig freezes in the light, take 1 second before you react. Because the creature that looks like the problem may be pointing you toward the real one. And sometimes, the animal you are most tempted to remove is the only member of that hidden world that was quietly working for you.